Greetings, says the bison.
Hello, everyone. We were finally able to do something that we've been meaning to do for several years. Spend a night at the backcountry campsite at Oster Lake in Elk Island. We checked in, purchased a fire permit, and gathered up our packs.
Fresh-faced and ready to go.
Yeah.
We decided to take the long way around, which starts with Simmons Trail and leads around Oster Lake, passing by a few other lakes along the way. Note the fork in the trail. We intended to follow the left path.
We did this walk in fall last time, eh?
The late summer had us spotting mushrooms that had sprouted up along the trail, and ripe berries like these bunchberries. The trail brought new meaning to a multi-use trail. In addition to human tracks and bike tracks, there were also bison tracks. This was nothing too unusual, so we carried on, admiring the beaver pond as we went. The small hill gives a good view of the area. Wildflowers lined the trail as well, and were visited by various pollinators. This goldenrod waved in the breeze like a conductor's baton. And nature's symphony players continue to impress with their solos. While this is an older bison patty, there were some very fresh ones as well. We soon found the likely source, a bison relaxing in the shade. Remember how I said there was another trail? We had to backtrack and headed up the other path.
Yeah, no.
It's like, okay, this is like minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, he's not following
Not
us.
this guy, he's too shy, he's not shy enough.
Yeah. Yeah, most of them will just kind of race off as soon as they get wind of you. We'll do what we can, right? The bison that we encountered was probably right around, I think maybe there. And so we just backtracked to here. So now we're going to take the other trail up. Haven't been this route, so that'll be something different to see. Our eventual goal, the tenting area.
We picked up the pace to make up for lost time, as well as to keep ahead of the mosquitoes. This path eventually crosses through a marsh. Whenever we come to an open area, we usually scan around just to see if there's any animals that we need to be mindful of. From the boardwalk, we took note of signs of aquatic animals.
Maybe a beaver lodge right over there. See the hole a little bit. Don't know if it's still active though.
We hiked up the hill that overlooks the marsh and found the point where the two trails rejoin.
Alright, so we made it. We're going to continue on our way. The trail heads off that way. Take off that way. There's no bison.
We were glad to be able to continue on our way.
The deadfall kind of guides you along the trail. But still, some people will go astray. But see, it's been rubbed in the past, and then this is more fresh. I was reading that they'll come and rub on the same trees periodically. Good wood.
Even though it was late summer, there were still some muddy sections to contend with. With our heavy packs, we paused frequently to look at the landscape. That dark shape you see in the middle is a bison bull resting in the trees. He was quite close to the trail, which startled me, especially after the last encounter, but he was quite content where he was. I also saw hints that the end of summer was nearing. Some leaves were starting to change color.
Hi everyone. Lyndon's back there.
Yeah.
And we are hiking to Oster Lake for the overnight. And just wanted to say that we've got a little bit of the wildfire smoke filter on. So all of the branches and everything are kind of cast in a little bit of a reddish hue. Of course, the wildfires are all coming from either BC, which Kelowna has just been struck by fire, and then there's also up north in the Northwest Territories. So there's a number of people who are being evacuated again and traveling through Manitoba down to places of respite like Red Deer and whatnot. So yeah, things are not good, but grateful to be here, that we're safe. So yeah, sorry for the wobbly camera, not really fixed on myself. But we'll continue on. We're maybe about, I'm gonna guess, 6 kilometers or so inwards. It's about a 10K walk to the lake. But yeah, with the detour, of course, took a little bit of extra time. But we'll see you later.
So it's the first of
It's not John Paul, it's just Paul.
Paul Lake?
Paul Lake,
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, Shirley Lake, Paul Lake, and then finally Oster Lake is where we're camping.
Tangled mess of branches.
We stopped at the bench overlooking Paul Lake for a water break. I spotted a couple of red-necked grebes out on the lake.
When we arrived, we were warned that there's blue-green algae and not to try filtering the water. And I think that might be it. Blue-green algae here and over at Oster Lake. I think it's on Lake Astoten as well, the main place where everybody wants to go. Good news is we're over halfway. Yeah, I'd say that's over halfway. Short walk to Oster Lake. Yeah, they had the probably had the less exciting route in, that's for sure. Lots of beaver action through here. And a giant birch. Oh yeah, I'm just getting swarmed here.
The mosquitoes continued to spur us onwards, but I still managed to stop and look at the mushrooms.
Boardwalk. Marsh marigolds.
These are not marsh marigolds. The yellow flowers are nodding beggar ticks. Finally, we could see our destination.
Yeah, see our campsites over there. Just over there. That's where we're going to be camping. Some day picnic sites there.
Which we used in the past.
Over in that alcove there is going to be our campsites. You can see the outhouses over there.
This area always has a lot of grasshoppers. When making the booking, we noticed that one of the sites was always unavailable. We found out why.
I thought the last time that we were here there was a fair bit of like pawing and everything. Like maybe they just damaged the ground too much.
Well, they were around here.
Yeah, a lot.
Really hanging out here about here. Was that 2 summers ago?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, CL4 unavailable. Bear boxes. With an emergency line. Always nice to see. Let's take a look. Good amount of space. And you could lock it if you wanted to prevent other people from taking your stuff.
Across Canada's national parks are the red chairs. I suppose there's some people who make an effort to take photos in all of the chairs. Some are more coveted than others, but generally they have a good view. Since no one else was around, I decided to sit down.
Me with the red chairs. Give them a try here. Beautiful. I should have brought my drink with me. Oh.
Enough looking at me. Suddenly, there was a whole family.
Little peeps. Look like little marshmallow peeps.
And they certainly peeped like them, too. This one still had the baby chick stripes on their head. Lyndon eventually joined me in the red chairs. We enjoyed looking at the plants around us, in addition to the little peeps. Meanwhile, another family had arrived.
Oh? Profound comments?
I want to move to a place like this. I am tired of the city.
This would be a beautiful spot for a cabin, but then only a few people can enjoy it.
Wow. Yeah.
I zoomed in on the area across the water where we had heard the howling, but saw nothing.
It's definitely not there now.
Meanwhile, a giant grasshopper decided to rest on our tent. We went to collect some firewood to cook supper.
Yeah, it's almost. I'm kind of almost regretting it's not going to rain hard. You can see though, eh? Like somebody's moved this to the side. I bet you they put a tent right
Oh
in.
yeah, they dragged it.
Yeah, they dragged it over, eh?
Well, or they had a group and wanted to. They've both been dragged around.
Yeah, I wonder how many hailstorms they've had here.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Somebody probably got stuck in that major hailstorm.
Because what we're gonna need, like I'm feeling that wood and I'm like not convinced it's dry enough. That would be a start. This is, yeah, this is good. What we need is poplar trees though, because you put take the bark off and it's like a paper substance on the other side. And that really is great because you can kind of crunch it up. A lot of these have been stripped of their bark for some reason. But we'll grab these more stringy ones. This is definitely drier, so we'll try and get the fire started with these.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. This is it. This kind of, I bet you that's a poplar, just like that. It's really good for lighting fires, so this must be a poplar tree. It's really light too.
It's important not to bring firewood from outside, as it contributes to the spread of disease. This log was completely suspended by a neighboring tree. The fire continued well, and we brought out our burger patties to cook. I also brought some small peppers to grill.
Gina,
Gina.
definitely something for the official drink of backcountry camping.
Apparently.
It's a spot though, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Gina, it was worth the wait.
After supper, it was back to the bear boxes to cache our food.
Because I think... Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Somebody put some blood in there. Or would you rather have an upper one? Let's make sure it's closed. That doesn't close. Alright. Next, door number 3.
Looks more satisfactory, I think.
Hey, oh, be a lot more room in there for more stuff. Could have burnt one of these for fire. Look at the beautiful shape of that one.
Yes, some bison are very talented with their patties. The evening sky was too cloudy to make for a colorful sunset. We hung out by the fire and watched the remains of our logs burn away. Like a child, I looked for other things to burn, like leaves and wood. Then I decided to try
Fire
burning
is
a
almost
bison
out.
patty.
I want to try burning one of these. Oh my goodness. It's a little wetter than I expected, but let's see.
I found what I figured was a suitable candidate and popped it on the fire.
Here's the green. Not doing much. It's starting to smolder though.
Yeah. Maybe it's not dry enough.
Yeah, then you have to desiccate a little.
The chip didn't burst into flame like I imagined, but just smoldered away. If I had looked for some drier material, it might have worked better. The coyotes gave one last chorus. I heard a massive splash in the water, likely a beaver warning of danger on land. Fire safely out, we watched the fading light a little longer, then settled down to sleep. The next morning, I awoke to a beautiful sunrise. The ducks seemed to be waking up slowly as well. My coworker had given me this cute mug because of my environmental mindedness. We boiled some water for some tea, and for breakfast we had brought some eggs.
Pretty impressed. Only one of them got a little bit cracked.
They survived pretty well. The water was heating up, and the other residents reminded us that they were still around. My tea was now steeping, and Lyndon took care not to let the eggs burn on the metal pan. They turned out pretty well. We decided just to eat the bread as is, without making toast, since we didn't want to light a fire.
I passed it. Ready to go. Last look.
It was a great location, and I would definitely stay again.
Morning. Off we go. Time to head home. Have a nice breakfast. Some eggs, some bread. Fortunately, we didn't really think we should light a fire because then we'd have to make sure that it's out. But, yeah. Heard lots of coyotes last night, and it was an alright night.
We had one more place that I wanted to see. Oster Lake is pretty much at the west border of the park, and we had never been to the gate. There's no vehicle access for the public, but you could walk through if you wanted.
Yeah, if you wanted, could head out.
We looked around a bit, at the rose bushes changing color, and I found a puddle to reflect in. Some oyster plants had unveiled their round balls of seeds. The post in the middle of this field is all that remains of the former ranger office. There is another west gate entrance further to the north, which allows access to Stoughton Lake. Some park staff were riding around, visiting the campsite and likely reporting in that we had left our site. They continued on around the lake, checking the trails probably for any maintenance issues, like fallen trees. We continued on our way as well. It would be about 4 kilometers back to the trailhead. We enjoyed spotting some mushrooms in the forest. We also had some nice views of the marshy areas, but saw no coyotes that had howled that morning or the night before. I am sure they were watching us, though. The trail leads over a hill that has some more great views of the marshes. There were no animals to be seen, and it seemed like an extra quiet morning. This trail has sections that are covered with grass, which makes it easier to walk on. And this field must have looked amazing with wildflowers earlier in the year. A squirrel had set a mushroom out to dry.
That is the mother load of mushrooms. On the other side, another big cluster.
We spotted loads of puffballs on logs. I'm not sure of the species, but this looks a little like coral tooth fungus. And this is pine sap, a relative of the ghost pipe, but it can be pink in color and have more than one flower head on the stem. Back to some more cute mushrooms. I enjoy spotting these ephemeral fungi in the forest. There I go with my alliteration again. And finally, we were back to the trailhead. There's a white sign. I wonder what it says. Aggressive bison in the area.
Would have been nice to know, maybe yesterday.
If they mean this one, I'm not sure I would have said aggressive. Maybe more like assertive. But that's just me. As always, thanks for watching.